What makes you think that I just give a fuck? Cause I'm trying to get drunk, liquor in my cup. You see that girl, she got that big ol' butt. But you over here talking, I don't give a fuck. What? Give a fuck. What? I don't give a fuck. Got you over here talking, I don't give a fuck. Give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Got you over here talking, I don't give a fuck. Half cup of the Grey Goose with a little bit of ice and some orange juice. Pour review, the night is new. I'ma get fucked up till my liver's through. Don't give a fuck what you do, don't boo-hoo, just do you. Get up out my way, cuz you're fucking up my buzz. You see them girlies, ass fat look birdie, high heels look dirty. They drop it down, it's too early.
Too early for what? I just barely got here and I want to continue to drop my ass.
Right? Ain't no time limit when I'm in them guts. Slap these hoes, keep your mouth shut. Nuts sucked in your whole butt. Dick so big, your mouth shut. Let me fill that whole cup. Fucking while I'm post up. So what? Who's next up? You must got me fucked up. See, I don't play around. This time it's going down. You're only here to have some drinks. Yeah, right, you're fucking now. Well, you can blame it on the alcohol. By the way you were riding, I'm like, fuck them all. What makes you think that I just give a fuck? Cause I'm trying to get drunk, liquor in my cup. You see that girl, she got that big ol' butt. But you over here talking, I don't give a fuck. What? Give a fuck. What? I don't give a fuck. Got you over here talking, I don't give a fuck. Give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Got you over here talking, I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a damn if you're tipsy. Keep talking that shit, I ain't listening. You tossing shade, won't cooling off. You dropping stains, won't cutting off. Ain't got time for the back and forth. Vape to my lips and my high, of course. Never thought that I need this weed, but you, nah, you make me believe that there's hell on earth. Now your spells don't work. Why'd you lose your shirt? I drank too much, now my dick don't work. You shoot that side eye, I ain't a shy guy. Why try to lie? I'm going bye-bye, I'll make 'em buy. I lay 'em down when I take 'em down. Yeah, round and round, I'm down to pound. It's down with sound. You found a hand, I locked the house. Fucking on the couch. Tell your roommate to get the fuck out. I let her in, I'll tag her in. She play with it while I take some pics. Y'all fuck each other while I catch my breath. Bust a nut and I say that's it. Bust a nut and you say that's it. That's it. Now fuck that shit. Round 2, I'm going in. But before that shit, let's watch some Netflix. Yeah.
What makes you think that I just give a fuck? Cause I'm trying to get drunk, liquor in my cup. You see that girl, she got that big ol' butt. But you over here talking, I don't give a fuck. What? Give a fuck. What? I don't give a fuck. Got you over here talking, I don't give a fuck. Give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Got you over here talking, I don't give a fuck.
Back to my hood. Heard them always be beefing over something so petty, like oh my goodness. Y'all can't chill for a minute, had to go and get your feet wet in someone else's business. Sexy ain't gotta act like children, I'm over here wishing that y'all just quit it. Throw the gloves on, stop it in a minute. Be a man and minute to your weakness. Can you see it through your hindsight? Blind eyes be growing wicked with them false lies, all lies. And I heard them shots before they hit. Why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why? It's so jealousy on these streets, gotta get my shining in the gutter like skies in the summertime. Heard the domes be steady on they trapping. I be sitting back asking where my brothers be lacking, putting passion in my rapping. I be kinda making moves to end on my actions, speak on the behalf of all my words, and that's just something that I choose. Put it on cruise, swerve. I hit these hoes with a curve. Can I be a man of my word? When I say I'm in it for the long haul, till I get going. Listen when I say, gotta get it when I'm on it. These doors staying open. I've been feeling hella chosen like a divine omen. Got the block up on their feet and they know I ain't joking. Put it on for my city, no lies in these spokens. Yes, I keep it rolling. Brody, I stay focused. Nope, I'm never joking. broken, only token is the soulless. When I'm building up these bars, get me on your pulpit. Got some visions for my people, hope you catch this post. I've been hitting harder than I ever had, and I ain't never gonna stop. Be a leader to my people, gotta keep it pushing till we hit the top. Steady in the hood and trying to keep the peace before the police pistol pop. Gotta get these comments, trying to move my mom and papa out the block. Cause it gets hard out here, and I got faith that my God is so close near. And I'm just trying to guide my own peers, and I hope these verses hit your ears so clear. I'm just a cavalier fighting off demons in my rear. I hope these verses hit your ears so clear. So clear. So clear. Yeah, so clear.
Everybody, welcome back to the IE Music Podcast, or welcome to the IE Music Podcast, should I say. You are tuned in. Today is, on my end, today is October 8th, 2015, on a Thursday. A special Thursday broadcast of the IE Music Podcast. This is episode 50 of the IE Music Podcast, and I decided to drop another episode because why not? So I felt like the last segment on episode 49, intro segment, wasn't good enough. I always feel like that every time I drop a podcast. I'm like, oh man, I should have changed this. But then I'm like, okay, I'll just work on another next time. If I progress, well, I do. If I don't, well, oh well. This is the IE Music Podcast, and I'm your host, Omar. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Once again, today's October 8th, and this is episode 50. Woo! All right. Originally, I had something planned for episode 50, but I don't think it's going to work out what I had in mind. I don't want to say what I had in mind and probably do the episode later on. I just wasn't ready. It wasn't going to work out. I had somebody lined up already, which is Flesh Vomit. So I decided to say, hey, why not? Just go with it. Go with the flow. You already have somebody lined up for this episode, so why not? This is episode 50 featuring Flesh Vomit. Flesh Vomit is a noise artist from out here from the Imperial Valley. If you guys know what noise is basically a different genre of music. I know genres aren't in right now. I know genres are not cool. I know it's not cool to say genre. If you're a hipster, you would say, oh, I don't like genres. I don't like to put myself in a category. I get it. I totally get it. But in this specific case, I have to put it in the noise category because it is noise. It's specifically noise. And if you don't know what noise is, you can look it up. It's pretty much noise, industrial noise. It's type of like, it's kind of hard to explain. He kind of explains it on this episode, so you'll be able to understand what noise is. It's pretty much using like pedals and making your own instruments to make pretty much noise. But you can hear the tempo. I mean, you can hear the music. You can feel it. I saw him performing with a swine overthrow. I think they were practicing one time, and they were just, I guess trying to put that noise into swine overthrow, and it sounded sick. It sounded fun, kind of cool in my opinion. It sounded kind of like I don't want to compare it, but it sounded cool. It sounded like when you mix that noise with the sampler with like into like heavy music, and it just sounded cool. Shout out to Swine Overthrow and to those guys. And then I also saw him perform. I think he does that by himself, and I saw him perform. I think just Planet Flesh. With the Flesh Vomit and Swine Overthrow. But yeah, this is episode 50, so I decided to bring him in, and might as well go with it. This episode 50 featuring Flesh Vomit. Songs you just heard right now in the intro were 43 by Que Oso, or 43, whichever way they pronounce it. Que Oso is a band from San Diego, and they played, I believe, last month here at the IE Music Podcast headquarters. That's Que Oso from San Diego. You spell it Queoso, Que Oso. And you can find that 43 or 43 on the album called Somos Pueblo. Somos Pueblo was recorded in the spring of 2015 at XM Studios in Escondido, California. Go ahead and look that up. That's at queoso.bandcamp.com. You can find that album Somos Pueblos on queoso.com, queoso.bandcamp.com. And the song you just heard right now in the intro was 43 or 43. The next song you heard after that was I Don't Give a Fuck featuring Pop Shop by Emilio. Emilio, the DA, is from Brawley, California. I don't know what's the DA about. Hopefully when I get him in here one day, he could explain what the DA is about. But you can find this Don't Give a Fuck. Don't Give a Fuck song on you can find that song Don't Give a Fuck on soundcloud.com/Emilio the DA, Milio the DA. I can relate to that song Don't Give a Fuck right now because sometimes you just don't give a fuck. Somebody might say something, you don't give a fuck. Somebody might think something, might mean something, say something, and you don't give a fuck. I get it. So you can find that song by Emilio on soundcloud.com/Emilio the DA. And after that track, I went into Con Safos by Ace of Vig. Con Safos, he just dropped that about a week ago, maybe. You can find that on soundcloud.com/Ace of Vig. And if you remember that name, Ace of Vig was featured on the podcast about 3 weeks ago. Go ahead and look that up. That's Ace of Vig. This song was called Con Safos, and you can find it on soundcloud.com/Ace of Vig. Con Safos means with. Safos, I believe. I don't know what that is, to tell you the truth. Maybe go ahead and give a shout out to Ace of Vig. Look him up on Instagram and ask him, hey man, what does Con Safos mean? And pretty much he'll explain to you. But I like his vibe. I like what he has to offer, his movement, what he has to say. If you go check out the episode, you'll listen to Ace of Vig and his belief, and it's cool. It's just cool way his music, how it's changed in many ways. And then after that, I ended up that set with the Kyoso again one more time after album Somos Pueblo, and I played Necesidad. I believe that's anxiety in Spanish. That's track number 1 off that album called Necesidad, Anxiety by Somos Pueblo. By Kyoso on Somos Pueblo. And, thanks to them for, giving me this record. I'm able to play it. I'm really enjoying this record right now. I'm really enjoying it because I'm playing it. And yeah, that was a little cool block of music that I played in the intro before I get into episode 50 featuring Flesh Vomit. Once again, Flesh Vomit is a industrial noise artist from the Valley. He'll explain what it's about. He'll explain, what this music is. And once again, I wanted to bring him in because it's different. I'm highlighting different music, different artists, and pretty much anything goes here at the IE Music Podcast. I want to keep this going. Once again, this is episode 50. This is really cool, in my opinion. I'm enjoying this. I decided to do a Thursday night broadcast because, like I said, I wasn't comfortable with the last intro that I did. It was at Strangers Bar, the last episode 49, when I interviewed the Soaks and Thelma and the Sleeves. Thanks to Ernie for having me at Strangers Bar. But like I said, it was kind of odd. I don't know if you could hear it in my voice when I was doing the little first segment because I was kind of like mixing up my words and then kind of, stuttering a little bit because I was in the back. But then when I would like I said, when I was talking to these microphones, they would look at me like, oh, like it was weird, you know what I mean? So I wasn't really focused on what I was saying. I was more focused on, they were looking at me. But whatever. This goes back to the Emilio song, I Don't Give a Fuck. So I just went ahead and did it. Thanks to Ernie for having me. I believe I want to do more. I want to do more interviews out there. It should be cool. Thanks to the Soaks. Thanks to Thelma and the Sleeves for letting me interview them. You can find their music they're both on Facebook, or both on Bandcamp and both on Facebook, actually. That's at thelmaandthesleeves.com. Also, the Soaks band on Facebook. You can check that music out. And then also the Halfway Ghost. Thanks to Halfway Ghost for coming in and sitting down. That was a pretty cool, odd interview, but it had to get done, you know what I mean? This was Halfway Ghost. They're dropping a record on October 10th called Destroy Yourself. You can find that Destroy Yourself on halfwayghost.bandcamp.com. I think it's available for pre-order right now if you want to pre-order that album. It's called Destroy Yourself by Halfway Ghost, and the songs that they released was called Nothing Good Happens After 2 a.m. and Pre-Game Funeral, which are two cool songs that I enjoy. I still listen to them when I'm driving in the truck and just driving around town. I go ahead and put that on and I listen to them. So once again, if you want to cop that album called Destroy Yourself by Halfway Ghost, you can go to www.halfwayghost.bandcamp.com. Thanks once again. Thanks to everybody that was featured on episode 49, from Ernie from Strangers Bar. You can find, go ahead and go to Strangers Bar. You can find that at 115th, I believe it's North 5th Street in El Centro. It's a bar here in El Centro called Strangers. It's a really cool bar, good beer, good music, good vibes. That's at 115 North 5th Street here in El Centro. Tell him the IE Music Podcast sent you, and say what's up to Ernie. He's a really cool guy, real cool music. You can find a bunch of music there. I think somebody's here. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. That was actually the homie Caesar from Haas, drummer from Haas. Stopped by to drop some of his stuff. But like I was saying, yeah, go give a shout out to Ernie. You can find that at 115, like I said, North 5th Street, El Centro. Thanks to them. And yeah, I believe I was kind of already done before Caesar rudely interrupted. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm about to go into the Flesh Vomit interview, which is episode 50. You stop by, and you're about to hear kind of like a noise segment. It's him playing live. He brought his music here, he brought his equipment, and he plugged it into my computer and kind of like did a live set here. So right now, what we're about to hear is a live set that he did, and then we're gonna go ahead and go into the interview featuring Flesh Vomit. Once again, you can find his music on fleshvomit.bandcamp.com or SoundCloud or fleshvomit soundcloud.com/fleshvomit or fleshvomit on bandcamp.com. You can find his releases there. And yeah, so this is the iMusic Podcast, episode 50. And after the interview, I think I'm gonna do another block of music. That's my plan. We'll see what happens here on a Thursday night, on a Thursday evening. Yeah, I'm done for the day, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out the imusicpodcast.com. You can find all the episodes there. and I'll see you guys later. Yeah, Easy's right there. Yeah, and then you can just probably bring that in. Can you hear yourself?
Yeah, I can hear myself.
Yeah, you good right there?
Is that a little better?
Yeah, you're probably talking to the mic a little bit.
All right.
Yeah, just get yourself comfortable.
Good evening.
Yeah, how's it going? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the I Music Podcast. I'm here with Joey. I got Joey in here. I don't know if you want to go give your first name. Is that fine?
My what?
Your first name, is that okay?
My first name is Joel.
Joel, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, Joel.
But I prefer Joey or Joe. That's a little easier.
All right. And right now you just heard, I guess you would say flesh vomit, right?
Yeah, my stuff is Flesh Vomit.
Okay. And that was your set right there? I pretty much played the set before that. What would you call that set right now?
A noise set.
A noise set?
Yeah, harsh noise. Yeah.
That's a genre, I guess you would say, as noise?
Yeah, it's like a subgenre of like 3 different genres, I guess. You can call it like a subgenre of grindcore or a subgenre of industrial and like a subgenre of like electronic music.
Right.
It's just, if you want to like use like an umbrella term, it's just experimental music.
Experimental?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much easier, huh? Nice.
Yeah.
How'd you get started making noise, man?
It was back in about 2005. I was kind of like, that's kind of like around the time where I like really started getting into like stuff like Skinny Puppy and stuff like that.
Okay.
And there was a couple albums that I had that they had tracks, but they weren't like they weren't your typical just like beats and like some dude like yelling like lyrics or whatever. Like they were more like atmospheric and stuff, and I really liked that. So I started just like messing around with like a pirated copy of like Sony Acid Pro.
Right.
And I was just like hooking up like my guitar pedals and stuff like that to like keyboards or just like messing around with the mic, and that's how I basically like started stuff.
Nice.
And I didn't know what it was, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what it was until like I wound up like running into Derek, and I'm like, dude, like he's like, dude, I like your stuff, you know. And I'm like, cool. He's like, yeah, it sounds like this and it sounds like that, and I was like, there's like there's like a genre for this. That's awesome, you know. So like he kind of he opened the gates for me, and then I sort of just like went in there like melee status.
Nice.
You know,
You're learning the history of it and like where did this come from? All right.
Yeah, and it was interesting too because like a lot of it was like a lot of these ideas started like happening like in Italy. I think in like I'm probably wrong with this. It was like between 1918 and 1920.
Wow.
And there's
like
it was like that long, and there's a composer, he was a painter, I believe.
Right.
His name was Luigi Russolo, and he like started making like his own instruments that were basically that just made noises.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he would throw like little performances and concerts and stuff like that where he had people just like compose noise.
Right.
It was like intense, you know. It's like even for now, like it's still like, dude, that's crazy, you know. It's like that's happened so long ago, you know. But like it started like, it's like I guess that genre just started picking up around the 70s with like a lot of the bands who didn't have like enough money
for instruments
or anything like that. So it basically started with like bands like Throbbing Gristle, like those dudes had to literally like make their synths and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't take that much to do noise. Well, I mean, I guess you would say it does, but I mean to make noise out of something with like instead of picking up a guitar or something.
Yeah,
you know
well, I mean it's different, you know.
Right.
It's like it's kind of one of those genres where it's like you can be a musician, like a real well-rounded off musician, and like make insane stuff, and you can just be that person who doesn't even know like how to make a G chord on a guitar, you know, and still make rad stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's very open to interpretation, and it's like one of those it's one of those genres where it's like anyone could go in and anyone can just do whatever. It's basically like a free for all.
Right. And would you say like it's kind of hard to understand the genre, like noise? That people don't really get it, right?
It leaves people divided, you know?
Right? Yeah.
It's a strong like I don't like this, or like this is actually pretty cool, like what the hell is going on, you know? But I think like the overall feeling is just like confusion.
Okay. Yeah.
And people who do get it and people who don't get it, they share that one interest, I guess, is like confusion. Because I mean, I'm confused half of the time when like I hear this stuff. I'm just like, dude, this is just all I know is that it sounds awesome.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know?
It sounds heavy.
Yeah.
You know, would you want to get that sound? That's the sound you're going for?
At times, yeah. Okay. I want to get like, you know, it's like sometimes you want to do something where it's just straight up chaotic and staticky, and other times you want to do something that's a little more like sinister sounding.
Right.
You know, it all depends on what you're going for, and kind of like the sound you just want for that time. Because you know, a lot of people like don't with this genre, like a lot of people don't stick with the same thing all the time.
Right.
You know, they'll expand. They'll be like less distorted parts or like more distorted parts. It's like I said, it's.
And then sometimes you showed me last time you were here. You showed me like a band that has like melodic noise type thing. You know what I mean? With some like beautiful sounds. I believe you showed me. I don't know what band it was that you told me, but like Butterflies or something like that. And
it was not Baptist. Botanist.
Yeah.
Yeah, those dudes are awesome.
Yeah, that's a pretty sick band right there.
Yeah, it's like it's basically like black metal if you took out the guitars and just used like dulcimers.
Right.
You know, it's like that band's really awesome. I think it was I think it was like on Tumblr, and I was like looking for like Death Heaven tags, and I just stumbled on that, and I'm like, wow, I like the cover art for it. You know? So I was like, you know, check it out, and I was like, dude, this is amazing, right. You know. I
mean, because you don't really need the guitar. I mean, you kind of sometimes do need the guitar for when you do noise, but kind of like the distortion brings out, you know, what you want to hear, right?
Well, I mean, the guitar, there's nothing wrong about the guitar,
right.
You know. It's like, it sounds incredible for what, you know, it sounds incredible in the right hands, and even in the wrong hands.
Right.
Like, that's the whole idea of noise, I guess. It's like, it doesn't matter whose hands it's in.
Right.
As long as you can just make a sound, mm-hmm. You're good, you know. And if you want it to like make a sound that you're just like kind of after, and then you just kind of have to work at it,
right.
You know? But for the most part, the doors are basically open when it comes to creativity,
right?
You know?
Yeah. Do you like jamming out with bands? With bringing the noise to the bands?
Yeah. I usually work with Swine.
Right. Swine Overthrow.
Yeah. They're the ones who kind of contacted me. Mm-hmm. I don't really contact people because it's like even like online I kind of have like anxiety about it. So
Same here.
Come off like all awkward, like, hey, yeah, you sound cool.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's why I reached out to you. You know what I mean? I was like, bring him in. You know.
Yeah.
Because I saw you, you know, during the I was about to say Planet Flesh. When I saw you, shout out to Planet Flesh. When I saw you with Swine Overthrow, and I saw you practicing here at the house. And I was like, oh man, it sounds cool. You know, when you mix the noise with, you know, the music, I guess you would say.
Yeah, like that sludgy sounding like grindcore.
Yeah, it just sounded sick. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I heard, like I said, I heard the noise when it's by itself, and I heard it in the band. I heard it live when you were here just jamming out, and I seen you guys play shows too. I thought it was fucking cool. Like, you know what I mean? Would you consider probably play both, right? Playing like in a band and solo.
Yeah, I just like enjoy playing to begin with. You know, it's like the main reason why I started like making noise again was because like I wanted to play live shows, but I wasn't in a band, and I wanted to play drums like most part. Like, right. I really wanted to do some like post rock, like post metal stuff, like Mogwai and Neurosis and all that. Like I'm really into like that stuff. But I was just like, you know what? I haven't made noise for a while. I'm just gonna sit down with like the bare minimums and see what I can do, you know. Right. So all I did was just took like a crappy like Windows recorder, you know, that only records 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So I was there just like tapping the record the whole time after 30 seconds was up, just like experimenting like with just vocals and a microphone, and then just like hooking it up to like a distortion pedal, and then just like mixing the hell out of it.
A lot of production?
Yeah. Okay. Just like, well, not too much, you know. Right. It's just like adding like effects here and there, and like it sounded cool, you know. And then that's kind of like how like that's how Flesh Vomit started, and it's been like I think over a year now. Flesh Vomit started like about a year ago. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. The project is new, you know.
Yeah. Where can you find your music at, man?
Huh?
Where can you find the music at?
You can find it on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Flesh Vomit. You can also find it on SoundCloud with the same name.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's like everything I have on there is free. I usually do like cassettes. I try to do cassettes and CDs, but for the most part, I'm doing cassettes just because it's a little more easier for me to like kind of get a little creative with them.
Right. Okay. Yeah. How's that? Why is that? Why would you say more creative?
It's just, I really can't say. It's just
Yeah.
something that like kind of comes natural to me.
Okay.
Where it's like, you know, it's like ever since I was a kid, you know, I'd
Right.
always go to Leeds. That used
Yeah.
to, it used to. There was a record store. It was called Leeds Music.
Right.
And like I'd always go over there and I'd get the little singles, you know, like
Okay.
the little like Snoop Dogg singles
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
I
like
remember
that,
those,
you know. So like I would get those.
I used to
So
get
it's like,
cassettes in Mexicali, man.
yeah, dude. Like, so I mean, it was just something I was like kind of used to, you know. So I'm like, all right, cool, you know. And I don't know. It's just something very like there's something very comforting about like putting in a cassette, you know.
Right.
But it's like I also like CDs.
You buy records too, right? Also, as well.
Yeah, I buy too many.
Yeah. You sample too, right? You were saying you sample or not really?
Yeah, I do a lot of sampling. I usually do like mainly just like horror movies.
Nice. Yeah.
That's honestly as far as I go with sampling.
Yeah.
I just like with my noise stuff, I do sample like a lot of horror movies and
So
stuff
some
like
samples
that.
in your noise stuff. Is that
Yeah.
common? Yeah.
There's samples in there, but I mean I try to manipulate them so I don't get in trouble.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
You know, I don't want them to sound just like I kind of use them for just texture.
Okay.
Like I don't use them like to just be like, oh, dude, I remember that. That's from like Twilight Zone or something like
Right.
that. You know.
So you say you're a horror fan too?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a horror fan.
Yeah.
I have other projects too. Like
Yeah.
I'll like sample sci-fi movies or like kung fu movies and stuff like that, or like even comedies. Like
Yeah.
I'll sample them, but I usually just use them as just for texture.
Right.
You know? Except for like when I sit down and like actually like program music, like then I'll use like certain like snippets and stuff like that. Like
Okay.
I use I had one track where I used like samples from like Videodrome, and I was kind of like, oh, you know, I was like, I was like inspired by like Flying Lotus. I was like, dude, you know, this dude's like sick. So
Yeah.
I was like, screw it, you know, it's like I
Nice.
want to make some shit like that too. So
Yeah.
like I started like making tracks like that, and the one that I did for it was, like I listened to it and I'm like, man, I shouldn't have like. It sounds like I really just ripped this dude off, you know, just with the beat,
Yeah.
you know. But at the same time, I'm like, nah, you know, screw that, you know. It's like it sounds freaking good, you know.
Right.
It's like you can put the two up, and like the only thing that kind of sounds the same is like the percussion. But like even at that, like I make sure like I have like a lot of just transitions and a lot of just different stuff. But if you listen to it like on its own, it's like. Nah, you know, it's like you can tell it's like no, this is like something else, you know.
Right.
This is like my own stuff, and that's his own stuff because he's basically like the beat god right now.
Yeah. Nice. So how do you go by, you know, starting making a track for noise? How do you go about, you know, getting into it, you know?
Usually, I just pick out what I want to use,
Right.
and I just play with it.
And I see a lot of equipment on your you know on your table right now. What type of equipment do you use to make this noise music?
It's very different sometimes. Sometimes I'll use like certain pedals or like certain setups, but for the most part, I just try to keep it like very open. Like I kind of view it as just like scribbling,
Right.
like on a sketchbook,
Okay.
and then whatever your scribbles like, kind of just like look at your scribbles for a while and then see like how you can mold them, like Ralph Steadman, like the dude who does like a lot of like the Gonzo like paintings and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I like his approach when it comes to painting, because what he will basically do is just like splatter paint, and it's like, oh, I like that splatter, and then like he'll make a horse or something out of it.
Right.
So it's like that's kind of like how I approach it. Like I just like I'll hear like a sound, like I'll just be messing around, I'll hear a sound, I'm like, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And then I'll start like recording and
Okay.
just like molding
Building
it.
off it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. You keep adding to your set as you go.
Yes and no. I really wanna start like minimalizing
Okay.
a lot of stuff.
Right.
But at the same time, I like introducing just like new
sounds?
synths or like
Okay.
new like instruments and stuff like that, just to kind of keep things fresh.
Right. You're always creating, I guess. You know?
Yeah.
Always creating. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I said, you know, it's very like free form. you know?
Yeah. Nice. And what other projects you got out of them besides Flesh Vomit?
I have a dark
That's why.
ambient project called Clean Coma. It's my longest running like project. It's been around for like almost 8-9 years now. Like
Clean
it's-
Coma?
Yeah, it started in I started it back in like 2007,
Right.
and it's very like it's very like cinematic, very like not atmospheric, but like it has like that like a very heavy like atmosphere to it. Like you're like stuck in like one of like the worst like horror movies ever or something like that.
Right.
Or
Like
like
a lot of orchestra, or not really?
not a lot of orchestra, but just a lot of like dronings, just like a
Okay.
lot of low end stuff, and then just like kind of laced with like very very like light melodies and just different sounds and stuff. Like that one is something that I put a lot of like thought and effort and like care to. Like there's a lot of TLC in it.
Right.
And it's like you can tell, you know, and like my whole goal like in the beginning was to just make people fall asleep.
Right.
Like I don't want them to like make it through like a track or like an album. I want them to fall asleep. You know, because like that's why like it says it all right there in the name. You know, it's like clean coma. It's like you fall asleep without even realizing it until you wake up and you're like, crap. You know,
Is it still playing? Will it still play, or is it?
yeah,
Okay.
like it'll be off. You know,
Yeah.
it'll probably be off for like an hour or two, and you're just like, man, that's a good power nap. You know, but like you don't even realize it.
Right.
You know? It's like so that's what I try to do. And then like you said, yeah, I work with swines.
Right.
Man, I need to hit those guys up.
Yeah. Nice. And then that's pretty much those two, or what else?
And then like I said, I make it's sort of a hobby, you know. It's
Right.
like I'll make like just like little instrumental tracks, like little like abstract like little beats and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I go under Horror Show Grin.
Horror Show Grin.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's basically my little like nod to like Clockwork Orange and shit.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it sounds
You try
nothing
to-
like it, but
So as far as the music, you try to like contribute, like I guess horror with the music, or movies with the music. I guess pretty much horror, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because it goes hand in hand. I think so. Yeah.
It does, but I mean, I try not to limit it to that. You know, it's like I try to incorporate like a whole lot of just different things, but I don't want to try to just like overweigh everything and just have this like intense like meaning and like certain things
Yeah.
and then like a whole mythology
Yeah.
to it. It's like, no, dude, it's like I try to like stick to something simple, you know,
Right.
something a little more like at home. I try to stick to a subject, or I try to stick to like a certain like mood or like an atmosphere, and then from there that's how the project turns out, you know.
Right.
Where it's like Horror Show Grin, I just like, it's just like my love for like just like being outside.
Okay.
You know, it's like not even like, it's like you can be anywhere. Like you can be in like the streets of like some place you don't know, or like in a forest or something like that. And I like, that's basically like what I try to capture, you know. It's just that very like that very just like calming vibe of just like being outside and just like enjoying, you know, not being indoors.
Right. With the fucking walls and shit. Yeah.
Because it's like I'm making this stuff
Squares.
and I'm like inside, you know.
Yeah. Hate that shit too. Yeah. You go
So
outside, get some
basically-
air. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically it's sort of like a romanticism of being outside, you know.
Okay.
Where it's like Clean Coma is a little more of like my love for like atmosphere and just the darker side of things, but not necessarily just like, you know, showing you the monster, or like just making you feel the dread of
Right.
knowing that something is there while trying to lull you to sleep.
Nice. And Clean Coma is a sick name. I mean, that's a pretty.
Yeah,
Dope name,
I put a lot of thought into
Yeah.
that one, you know. It's like that was something I really, really wanted to do.
You want to get the two C's together? Clean Coma?
I actually use 2Ks.
Two K's. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Switch it up.
So it's like a really like simplistic like little like, it's like the Dead Kennedys, but
Yeah.
like -1 bar, so it
Nice.
just looks like a little like those little cheapy like cholo stars you would draw,
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
back in like grade
Hey,
school.
you gotta give your love to the valley, right?
Yeah.
And what is a fucking flesh bomb? I mean, you never.
Flesh Vomit.
That's right there.
It was I just wanted to pick a very like off-putting name that you would hear in like some death metal band or something
Okay,
like that.
yeah.
And the funny thing is, I was Google searching it and everything, and I was like, okay, you know, it's like I don't see any band with that name or anything, so I was like, all right, cool. So I started using it, and then like I saw this band like randomly on Facebook that like started using it. I was like, damn, you know, it's like I people to confuse me for that band, you know,
Right.
and then they're just gonna be like sending me a bunch of angry stuff. Like, I didn't care that some other band like used the name. I was just like, I don't want to get hate mail where it's like, this was like a death metal band and blah blah blah. It's like, dude, I kind of been around a little longer,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But like, I just didn't want any. I didn't want any like confusion or hate. I don't even think they're on there anymore.
No.
I don't really know. Like, but then again, I didn't really care much to like investigate to be all like, dude, I wonder if they're on there still or something like that. It was just, you know, it's like whatever.
Have you ever like collaborated with other noise people or no?
Yeah.
Besides Derek?
I did a couple splits. Actually, currently I have a lot of splits that I'm supposed to be working on right now. There's a split I'm doing with this really cool dude from Seattle. He goes by Body Shrine.
Right.
And he releases some heavy sounding like noise, and I was like, cool, you know. So we're working on a on a cassette release. It's gonna be like limited to 15. Cassettes are basically done. You know, I just need to finish up all the artwork and everything like that. But, you know, the pains of having a full-time job.
Yeah.
I have another split coming out with Sin, or S-I-N, from Singapore. I believe he's from Singapore.
Right.
And I have a couple other ones that are coming out. I usually just keep an eye out. I get invited to do, like, splits or something like that, or little compilations. And yeah, dude,
It's all networking.
Yeah,
you do a lot of networking.
I mean, it's all networking. You know, it's like people reach out to me,
Right.
or it's like I reach out to people. Well, at least I try to reach out
Right.
to people, but I'm just like, I don't know how to reach out to this person. You know,
Anxiety kicks in again.
Yeah, and it's like,
yeah.
I had to psych myself out. I had to be like, dude, you're online. Just say what's up. You know,
Exactly.
It's like, but like my whole anxiety is like, I don't want to come off like some ass. Like,
right.
you know, I like your band. Yeah. I like what you do.
Like a fanboy or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily like a fanboy, but just like that awkward guy where it's like, hi. Yeah.
I get it, dude. I get it. I've been to shows, dude. Yeah. Totally get that. And you play shows? How many shows have you played, man? You've been, you know?
I've
played multiple shows, right?
Man,
Bunch, right? Many years?
I've been playing shows for a while. I was like a drummer in like a death metal band. I did like bass for like a couple people, and then I just started doing like the whole like industrial noise, and it just kind of went from there.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I have a lot of shows under my belt, you know, but I took there was like the really long period of time where I didn't like play, or I didn't really do anything.
Right.
And it sucked.
It does suck. Yeah, I get it, man.
So that's basically why I started like Flesh Vomit, because I was like, dude, I want to play live, but I want to do something that's like exciting, you know. It's like no one wants to go and like listen to like well, at least here, you know, from like what I've experienced.
Right.
No one wants to like go and like listen to like stuff that's trying to like put you to sleep or anything like that. Like no one wants to like listen to that, you know. I mean, there is an audience for that, and there are people who want to listen to that and will go to like places like they have like freaking 24-hour like drone shows.
Oh, nice.
Where it's like a bunch of artists for like 24 hours like just making like this like beautiful like just music. And they even
I guess it was like in LA, New York area.
Yeah, you know, it's
bigger
like
cities.
It's like
It's out there. You gotta look for it.
It's out
right?
there, you know. It's like it's out there. You just gotta tap that. You gotta tap the well. That's really it, you know.
So you decided to create that from there. You were just okay.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna
like
this.
from there, I was like, you know what? Like, at least with like noise, it's a little more like free form. I can have fun with it. I can just like go aggro, you know, because I have a bad tendency of like going aggro live. So it's like I'll go aggro, and it's like it fits, you know, it fits that whole chaos, you know, and it fits that whole like violent kind of vibe. But I mean, in the end, it's just, you know, some dude like just like with a bunch of pedals making people annoyed.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I mean, do people stick around sometimes? Sometimes people, you know, go get a drink or something though. But it's hard to get the audience with noise. You know what I mean?
It is sometimes. It's always a mixed bag. You know, it's like I'll play I'll play mechs.
Okay.
You know, and like people just like swarm because
It's big out there right now.
Like
right?
it's not necessarily big, but like there's a scene for almost everything over there.
Cool.
You know, it's like you have the goth culture that's there. You have like the noise culture, the grindcore culture. Like there's a lot of different like. It's just like a lot of different like groups out there, you know, like just groups of people. But the cool thing is they're very like, from what I've experienced, you know, they're very supportive, you know, they're very open, they're very kind. And then like when you come over here, like in the valley and stuff like that, you know, you'll have people that are just like, dude, that is sick, or it's like, this sucks, and like you're left to just like jamming with like 3 people like watching you or something like that, or if you're lucky 3 people, you know. But I mean, and then I played Yuma a couple times. Well, I only played Yuma twice.
Right.
The first time people dug it. The second time I was in a bar, and like not that many people liked it.
Right.
You know, but
You're still creating though.
I mean,
you go
like
back in.
it never fails to have like
Right.
someone come up and be like, dude, that is awesome, you know?
Right.
I haven't had anyone come up to me and say, dude, that fucking sucks, you know, because it's like, why tell someone that it sucks, you know? If you're going to come up to me and tell me it sucks, all I'm going to tell you is, damn, I guess I should have played longer for you.
Exactly, dude. Yeah. I get it, though. I mean, I totally get it. I mean, like, I like this music, but not a lot of people do. I've seen, I've been to the noise shows, too. A couple of them, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's like, what is, you know? What is it? What is this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people don't get it. You know what I mean? And I get that. You
There's
know
the curious people, and then there's the people that just like that automatically like kind of know what you're doing, and then there's people that are just like,
how does
it's just a long silence. It's like, dude, what the fuck is this person doing?
yeah?
You know?
How does it feel going on stage like by yourself? Is it is it cool, or are you used to it already, or
It's
it's still adrenaline up there?
to start everything off, it is kind of like a little unnerving,
Right.
you know, like I get kind of like nervous or stuff like that, and then I just like, as soon as you start going into it a little more, like that's when I start getting a little more comfortable and getting a little more into the zone, and just like that's where my fuck it mentality comes in, and then I just start.
Right.
That's it, you know.
Nice.
And then from there we see how long it goes. Like I try to stay within the time limits, but it's like personally I can't tell like how long or how short the set is, because I don't have the how would you say it,
Like a song structure?
yeah, like I don't have like I don't have
Or a set
the
structure?
advantage of like a song
Right.
where it's like, okay, I have a song where it's like 3 minutes, you know.
Yes.
I probably could, but then that just
Like you're saying
takes-
earlier, it's all improv.
Yeah.
That's what you were saying earlier.
Well, my set
Right.
is improv. You know, there's like I said, there's people who approach like the genre just differently. You
Okay.
know, you'll have some people who have something kind of set up, and then like they'll have like little like improv sessions here or there. You'll have other people that are just like very strict on like what they want. You know, and it's like if something cuts out. You know, it's like when I do a set and something cuts out like earlier, I just kind of use it. You know,
Right.
it's like bam, it's like crap, and then I just turn the volume up on something else. You know, or I just start like another sound or something.
Another
and
set.
Then, yeah,
Yeah.
like I just go. You know,
Right.
and then there's some people. It's like something will cut out, and they'll get frustrated, you know. But I mean, it's just all how you approach it, and the only way to approach noise itself is to just approach it.
Right. I hear
know?
music. I hear the music. I mean, because I like music, but like I hear the music. I hear like the structure. You know what I mean? I hear
Yeah,
like kind of like the breakdowns too. You know? What
yeah.
I do.
I try to have some structure in it, like especially with that new string instrument. You know, it's kind of like it's almost like a bass,
Yeah.
but you can't play notes with it.
Right.
You know, so it's like I use it like mainly like as a percussive tool, and like
It's like
I said,
open notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm a drummer, you know, to
Yeah.
begin with. So like that's it, like I'll just start messing with like rhythms.
Okay.
You know, but like very simplistic, almost like tribal like rhythms, because I mean I can't really like do like crazy ass like polyrhythms on there, like all like between the buried and me status.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like you can't do it with that,
Right.
you know, you're very limited. So
Very
it's like-
limited, but it's very workable. I
yeah,
guess I would say,
it's very workable,
Yeah.
and it's like you can use it as like a percussive instrument. You
Right.
can use it like you can just start scraping like like a stick on it or like other stuff on it. Like it's very versatile. You
How
know?
much
It's like,
how much do you layer on top of each other? I mean, as live or pretty much live.
as in the beginning, I just I wanted like something like consistent, you know, just like a consistent sound throughout the whole thing. So it's like it's basically like a wall,
Okay.
and like drones like in the meantime, while I have like one thing I would improv with. But like as I started working more and like time just sort of went on, I just tried to switch it up just to keep it interesting, because I would notice that I would get bored.
Right.
So it's like, that's the one thing I try to avoid.
Okay.
If I get bored, I don't like it. You know.
Okay, nice. That's dope, dude. And okay, so how many releases do you have out there? How many releases can you find on Bandcamp?
All of them.
Oh, yeah. What's one of your favorite ones that people can look out for?
I don't necessarily have like a
Yeah.
favorite one. You know,
Okay.
it's like I just sort of make it and like I put it out there.
Put it out there, right?
But I mean, I am more of a quality, not quantity type of noise artist. So like, I'm not putting out like 6 or 7 releases
Right.
in like 1 month. You know, it's like there's dudes out there with like 300-400 like releases like
Right.
under their belt, and they'll probably be around like they've probably been around for like 2-3 years. You know, and then I have like just this whole back catalog of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like me, I you know, it's like I like taking my time. You know, it's like, if I made it, you know, I kind of want people to just like listen to it and just like experience it and just take some time. So then when I do come back to actually like record something or release something, it's a little more fresh. You
Okay.
know? So, I mean, I guess my favorite one is like the last one I did, which was Death Omen. And, at the time I was recording that, I was reading the Lords of Chaos book, that whole history about like black metal and like the Norwegian like black metal scene and all that. And it's like, it was one of those things where it's like I dug the atmosphere, and I dug a lot of like the artistic, you know, I dug the artistic notion that was going in there, you know, even though it wasn't art.
Okay.
It's not art, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just nihilism and negativity and like this like very. But I was reading more like in detail like of their like style of production. You know, it's like they wanted that lo-fi, they wanted that like shitty like demo that you had to like record like in like a McDonald's bathroom or something like that. You know, it's like that very like cavernous, very like
Raw,
dead and raw sounding like sound. And I was very interested in that, you know, and like it just kind of came full circle, you know. It's like my love of metal and my love of like metal from like back when like in my youth when I was like trying to find the most extreme music,
right?
And my love for like for a little more like of the industrial side, like mainly Skinny Puppy's
Right.
Last Rites, which was like, it was a beautiful album. That's one of my favorite albums.
Influence right there.
Yeah,
okay.
that's major influence.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really be here if it wasn't for Skinny Puppy.
Nice.
But yeah, it was just kind of those two that just melded. Like the Skinny Puppy side, like it was just very unconscious of me. But the black metal like stuff that I wanted to do, like that was a prominent like idea, you know. That was the theme I chose, like nihilism and death and just overall raw coldness.
Right.
And this just kind of like the Skinny Puppy portion of it just sort of instinctively like took in.
Okay.
You know, like it just came in like out of nowhere. It was just something that I was like, yeah, you know, like that's what I want.
Right.
And it was like mainly with like the rhythm. Like I just wanted this very like decomposing like drum, just like.
Okay. Really dark, you're saying.
Straight up like destroy everything that's going on.
Because I guess you were saying because industrial music wasn't really what you were looking for. You wanted something more, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I like that's like I mean, the most extreme. Like when I was a kid, the most extreme thing I heard was like Metallica.
Right.
Like the Black Album. That was my first metal album I heard.
Okay.
You know, and then it wasn't until like I heard Slipknot.
Right.
You know, their debut.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, holy crap!
And we grew up in that time when it first came out.
You know,
yeah,
it's like, dude, you get an album
man.
that opens with like.
Sick,
yeah.
Zeppelin, yeah.
You know, when you just hear like the whole thing, I think is sick. The whole thing is just like that insane like noise in the background. I was just like, So I guess that kind of unconsciously
Yeah.
that's where it kind of came from. But
Okay.
like that kind of started my journey down the rabbit hole for extreme music.
Nice.
And there's this guy like I met back in high school. His name was Daniel Hernandez.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, he plays Sailing Stones.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one who got me in. He's the one who got me into like the real extreme like death metal and stuff like that. He's the
Okay.
one who showed me like Cannibal Corpse, Deicide, and like a whole lot more like the death metal stuff.
Brujeria and all that.
Yeah, definitely Brujeria
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, then from there you start getting darker, more darker. Yeah, because there's darker than that.
I just wanted.
You know what I mean?
I just wanted something that was like fast, heavy, and
Right.
offensive.
Okay.
Like that was pretty much it. And then that's how I got into like a lot of like the grindcore and like a little
Black Dahlia Murder, stuff like that.
not necessarily
Okay.
Black Dahlia Murders, but more like Pig Destroyer.
Okay, nice.
You know, Brutal Truth. Like
Yeah.
those kind of dudes. I'm
Okay.
just like, you know.
Cradle of Filth.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was that was my introduction to quote unquote black metal.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, because they're not black metal.
Danny Field.
Yeah, you know, but it's like, you know what, the first couple albums, those were black metal, you
Right.
know, it had gothic elements to it, but those were black metal, you know, I really like those.
You ever
But
go to
then-
Ozfest shows? You went to Ozfest shows, right?
yeah, I went to about like 2 or 3 of them.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I got to see Iron Maiden, that was pretty
Nice,
awesome.
dude. Hell yeah,
you
I've been
know?
to a couple Ozfest shows. That's why. Yeah, I grew up from Holtville too, man.
Yeah.
Originally, yeah. That's why I know Daniel and all these guys. And pretty much growing up from a small town, that's all we had was music.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's pretty much all you had,
Yeah.
you know, or getting in trouble. But
Exactly, dude.
how much trouble can you really get in
Right.
in Holtville? You
Not
know?
much, dude. Yeah.
You probably can, but
Yeah, and it's cool though. But now that I think back to like when all those bands are coming out, like that's
Yeah.
what really, I guess, got us into where we're at now. I guess, right?
yeah,
I think so.
That's
You know what I
pretty
mean?
much.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, if it wasn't for like just certain bands coming out or like certain like soundtracks, like I remember the first time I heard System of a Down.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It was the Scream 3 soundtrack.
Yeah.
And they also had Slipknot's Wait and Bleed on there.
Yeah,
and
dude.
like Cold Chamber.
A lot of Roadrunner records.
Yeah.
Roadrunner records were big.
Yeah, that's when I discovered Roadrunner Records,
Right.
and I heard like bands like Sepultura, which is my all-time favorite like thrash metal
Okay.
band, and who else? Suffocation. Yeah, Suffocation was on Roadrunner, and then like Gore
Typo
Guts.
Negative.
Typo Negative.
yeah.
I love Typo Negative. Yeah, not. I didn't like the last one, Dead Again.
Okay.
And I kind of wish Peter Steele was like alive enough to like
Yeah.
actually like redeem Typo like
Yeah.
after that one. But it
'Cause,
was.
I mean, Typo Negative has that sound. Like no one has brought that sound anymore. I've heard of.
no, I
Even the vocals, like you know what I mean.
yeah, Typo Negative
Yeah.
sounds like Typo
Yeah.
Negative, you know? It's like, it's very like tongue in cheek and like very cheesy, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But they know they're
Yeah.
in on the joke too. And that's
Yeah.
what sort of made it like really like awesome was
Right.
because it's like, not only is it like lighthearted, but it does have these like very heavy subject matters, you know?
Right.
It's like, I think it was Christmas Morning or Christmas Morn. Or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
or like Red Water. I think it's called Red Water, where he's talking about like all the friends in the past that have like died and family members and stuff like that,
Right.
and like how like his visitors for the holidays just keeps getting like smaller,
Right.
Like the tables. One of the lyrics was the table is set for 7. Last year I dined with 11.
Right.
You know, and it's just like, man,
Deep.
that's really. It's really depressing.
Yeah.
And then you hear like my girlfriend's girlfriend, you know, and then you're just like, okay, you know, it's like
Yeah.
now we're back to the lighthearted stuff. You
And
know?
the music started changing though. Like Chimera, they started in Chimera, and then like
Yeah.
you know, Kill Switch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The old Kill
oh
Switch.
man, Kill Switch.
Yeah.
You know what? I loved Alive or Just Breathing. That was
Yeah.
the first album I
With
heard,
the old singer.
and that was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite album, and that's the only album I'll listen to. Like I loved Howard Jones as a vocalist.
Right.
I thought he was stronger. He was
Yeah.
stronger, and he was a better vocalist. But I did not like that.
The singing?
Was it the End of Heartache?
End of Heartache. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not like that album. I didn't like the music. You know,
Okay.
I didn't like the compositions.
Yeah. Another record. Another like I guess like a movie soundtrack was Jason versus Freddy versus
The
Jason.
Freddy versus Jason.
That one had a good music
yeah.
too. You ever listen to that?
I can't. I was like so close when I was like a teen to like buying that.
Right. I
buying
think that one
soundtrack.
introduced more hardcore, like From Autumn to Ashes, and pretty much more hardcore was in that one. I think so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the almost like metalcore.
Yeah, I think
hardcore.
I think I like
sort of
Murder
thing.
Dolls on there too though. Murder Dolls were on there also.
Yeah,
as well,
and
yeah.
then they still had like a lot of like the new metal bands on there, like Il Nino.
El
and
Nino,
stuff,
yeah, exactly. That was a Roadrunner too.
And I actually saw those guys too at Ozfest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because that's when we were in high school.
Yeah.
Those bands were like in. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
those were like the bands that they're trying to get out. Like,
Yeah.
in the open, and that was like when MTV was like on their like last leg of
They were-
like playing music
Yeah,
videos and stuff
the
like
System
that.
of a Down every morning before school.
Yeah, because they were like playing Chop Suey.
Yeah, I remember that, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome, dude. And that's Roadrunner Records, though, man. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't asked how you started playing music, but now I know. Like, you know what I mean? 'Cause living in a small town.
Yeah.
That's what it was, right?
That's basic. Well, I mean, I went to school in Holtville,
Right.
but I lived like about like 10 minutes away.
Okay.
Like I lived out in the boonies, you
Right.
know, like straight up country. Like I was surrounded by nothing but fields and then like a road. So I mean, I got bored after a while, you know. It's like you can only, you know, it's like I used to like kind of do BMX, but like that kind of I just got bored with it after
Right.
a while, you know. It's like I was playing video games, like I remember playing like Tony Hawk and like Resident Evil 2 and all that. And then like after a while, like I started getting like it wasn't really holding my interest. So then that's when I just got my grandpa's like acoustic and I just started like trying to learn like how to make it sound like what I was hearing on like
Right.
my CD player.
Nice.
And that's how I started playing guitar,
Yeah.
you know? And that's why I have like guitar equipment.
Yeah. And these bands just caught your attention, I guess. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of them caught my attention.
Yeah.
Like I remember like sitting in my room like for an entire like weekend. Like as soon as I got out of school on Friday, all the way till Sunday, just sitting down to the first System of a Down album and trying to learn every single song.
Yeah, that's fucking
And,
cool, dude.
man,
Same here, man.
yeah,
The Spiders
That was the
on
day.
there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was back in the day.
Fucking
Spiders, Sweet Pea,
yeah.
Peephole,
Yeah, that's a
The Devil.
yeah, badass fucking album right there,
Yeah,
dude.
dude,
Yeah,
hell
dude.
yeah.
You have it on vinyl or anything or no?
No,
No?
I still have my CDs.
Still CDs? Okay,
I
nice.
still have my CDs.
That's when they used to sell CDs too. Like, you know,
Yeah.
remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, they still. I mean, there's places that still sell CDs. I still buy
Yeah,
CDs.
okay.
You know, that's basic. That's actually my bigger portion of like my collection is all
CDs?
CDs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I started like collecting music.
That
again.
goes back to our growing up. All
Yeah,
that was
just
pretty
like
much
collecting
CDs and
cassettes,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like singles and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then they sold single CDs too. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not much really like the hardcore bands. I think R&B sold CD singles. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, like how was it? I remember I had a
Boyz
Busta
II Men or
Rhymes.
something?
Yeah, I had
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Busta Rhymes Janet Jackson like when they did like a duet or
It's-
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
I had
nice.
that. I had that single.
Hell
you
yeah,
know?
dude. That's classic right there, dude. Nice, dude. But yeah, so I got here fucking Flesh Vomit, you know what I mean? We're just chatting up, you know what I mean? Going taking it back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Taking it back.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, you can find his music on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, you know what I mean? Like I said, he just pretty much did a cool set right now. I don't want to keep it for too long, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Just go on to the Bandcamp or like SoundCloud or whatever.
Right.
You can even like look me up on Facebook. You know, if you want to know like more about like if you want to hear like my different projects or whatever, just message me. Dude.
Yeah.
I'll send you guys a link. You know, I mean, I'm not that difficult to get a hold of. You know.
Yeah, I just mentioned him today, you know, and then he can stop by today, which is cool.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
it was
it's fucking
convenient
awesome.
too
Yeah.
because it was like, oh crap, that's my day off and I don't have to go to work early
Hell
tomorrow.
yeah.
Yes,
Nice,
you know?
dude. Hell yeah, dude. And you playing a show this weekend, or are you gonna play or no? Or is it what's going on this weekend too?
No, well, yes and no.
Okay.
I'm gonna be playing in Yuma on
Okay.
Friday
Right.
at Revolution Tattoos. They're having a suspension, body suspension.
October 9th? Yeah.
Yeah, they're having a body suspension thing that's going on, and I've seen body suspension before, but not in person. So
Okay.
like, I'm very interested into seeing that. And then Saturday we have the 4th annual Heebie-Jeebie show, which is a art exhibit, and it's open to all artists. And we're at the moment, you know, it's like we're still taking entries from like different people. We always love having different artists. You know, it's like even if it's like if you don't think like it's gonna fit the theme, like, you know, because it's a Halloween show, but that doesn't mean you can't like put a painting, like an oil painting of like your poodle. You know, it's like, do it. You know, it's like we always love like just new different artists. we're gonna also be screening
Right.
Return of the Living Dead.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, we're gonna be screening that. We're gonna have like a couple acoustic sets, and I think Valindo Madre is gonna be playing. I think they're gonna be like the first ones
Right.
to play, and it's at Cafe 101, and it's
Nice,
it's
dude.
fun.
Cafe 101.
Yeah, it's fun.
Alright.
Fun
I kind of
little-
stay quiet right there, so I'm gonna cut that out and make a little promo. Just because about to air this right now.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why I stay a little quiet. You know what I mean? Because I'm probably gonna cut the end and then just put it on this episode.
Oh,
Just
okay,
like-
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I stay a little quiet. You know what I mean?
No,
But-
I'm not used to this.
yeah, it's alright. No problem, dude. It's okay. But yes, but thanks for coming out, man. This is the podcast. You know, I just want to keep you on here because like I said, I like what you're doing, man. I
Yeah,
do.
well, I appreciate it,
Yeah.
dude. Anyone who if anyone like digs this stuff, dude, just hit me up.
Yeah, man. Hit him up. You have an Instagram out there, or
Yeah, I have an Instagram. It's just theflesh76.
okay, you content in there.
Very simple. Yeah,
Alright.
I
Bandcamp.
try to keep everything very simple, so
Yeah.
then you can just find me.
Nice. Dude. Well, thanks, Joe.